Hello, Simmers. We're back with a new series. It's the first series on the channel since the rebrand, and as you can see, we are in Hockey Legacy Manager 25 here. So taking a little bit of a break from FHM for the time being, and the reason we're using HLM for this series is because this is a Battle Royale series, that's right. And of course, we're going to be using the New Jersey Devils, a nice palate cleanser for me after that last series with the Rangers. And in this series, given that it is Battle Royale mode, the bottom two teams in the league at the end of every season will be eliminated from the NHL. So this should be a very interesting series here, as this series could end at any moment. It may end this episode for all I know. It's all going to depend on how well our team does this season. I mean, I can't imagine that this team is going to be in the bottom two of the league right out of the gate, right? So, I mean, we got Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, Jesper Bratt, Timo Meier. We should be fine, at least in terms of not being eliminated right away. But I do like this game mode because it completely discourages tanking, right? Because if you tank in this game mode, you're going to be out really quick. So it encourages you to have a winning mindset, right? So without further ado, I think the first thing we're going to do here is look over our roster, see who we have. In goal, you have Markstrom and Allen in the NHL, 86 overall for Markstrom, 83 for Allen. Then you have Nico Dawes, 23 years of age, 78 overall, with a 3.5 green star potential. So we'll see how he turns out. You have Isaac Poulter, 22 years of age, 74 overall, 3-star yellow potential. Then you have Jakub Malek, a 3.5 yellow star potential, who's 22 years of age, 71 overall. Then you have Tyler Brennan, who's 20 years of age, 3.5 yellow star potential, 65 overall. And then unsigned, you have VT Luhivara, who's 18 years of age, 3.5 yellow star potential. Then you also have Mikhail Igorov, who is 18 years of age, 4 yellow star potential, and a 60 overall. Then on defense, this is where this team gets interesting because you have a lot of no move and no trade clauses. Hamilton with the no movement clause, $9 million for the next 4 years, 87 overall. Then you have Brett Pesce, 6 years on his deal at 29 years of age, no trade clause. Then you have Dylan at 33 years of age with a 3-year contract and a no trade clause. Good hitter, good shot blocker. Then you have Siegenthaler, 27 years of age, 84 overall, 4-year contract with a modified no trade clause. And then, of course, you have Luke Hughes, 20 years of age, 84 overall, with a 4.5 gold star potential. Passing 86, offensive awareness 86. Then you have Johnny Kovacevic, who is 27 on a 1-year deal. But he actually does have his extension on there for the next 5 years with a modified no trade clause at $4 million. And then you have Brian Dumoulin, 32 years of age on a 1-year deal with $1.5 million. Simon Nemeth, who is 20 years of age, 4.5 gold star potential, still on his rookie deal at 82 overall. Then you have Dennis Cholowski, who is 26 years of age, 80 overall. Then you have Seamus Casey, who's 20 years of age, 4 gold star potential with a 79 overall. Then you have Colton White, 27, 76 overall. Daniil Miziel at 23 years of age, 76 overall, 3 green star potential. Then you have Santeri Hatakka at 23 years of age with the 3 gold star potential, 75 overall. And I'll skip around here a little bit. You have Anton Salayev, who is 18 years of age, a 4 green star potential with the 72 overall. And then at forward, you have, of course, Jack Hughes, 23 years of age, 90 overall with the modified no trade clause for the next 6 years and $8 million per year. Then you have Jesper Bratt, 26 years of age, 88 overall, $7.8 million for the next 7 years. And of course, that is also a no movement clause. So like I said before, a lot of no movement clause, a lot of no trade clause on this team. Then you have Nico Hischier, the captain, 88 overall, $7.25 million for the next 3 years on his modified no trade clause. Then you have Timo Meier, 27 years of age, 86 overall, making 8.8 for the next 7 years with a no movement clause. Then you have Stefan Nason, 31 years of age, 84 overall, making 2.75 for the next 3 years with a modified no trade clause. And you have Eric Haula, 33 years of age, 83 overall, making 3.15 for the next 2 years with a no trade clause. And then you also have Andre Palat, 33 years of age, 83 overall, making $6 million for the next 3 years with a full no movement clause. So certainly not a lot of flexibility with this team in terms of the amount of no movement clauses and no trade clauses that there are. Then you have Paul Cotter, 24 years of age, 83 overall, on a minimum deal for the next 2 years. Tomas Tatar at 33 years of age, 82 overall, making 1.8 for the next year. Then you have Nathan Bastian, 26 years of age, 82 overall, making 1.35 for 1 year. And you have Cody Glass, 25 years of age, 82 overall, making 2.5 for 1 year. And you have Daniel Sprong, who is 27 years of age, 81 overall, on a $975,000 deal for 1 year. Then you have Curtis Lazar, 29 years of age, 80 overall, $1 million for 1 year. Then you have Justin Dowling, 33 years of age, 79 overall on a minimum deal for 1 year. Then you have Curtis McDermott, 30 years of age, 79 overall as an enforcer, making 1.15 for the next 3 years. Then you have Nolan Foote, 23 years of age, 78 overall on a minimum deal for the next 1 year. Now skip around here a little bit. You have Gritsuk, who's 23 years of age with the 4 Red Star potential at 76 overall, and he does not have a contract. Then you also have Lenny Haminaho, who is a 4 Gold Star potential with a 71 overall. He is unsigned. You also have Samu Salmonen, who is 21 years of age with the 3.5 Gold Star potential, 66 overall. You have Cam Squires, 19 years of age with the 3.5 Gold Star potential, 64 overall. Kasper Pikkarainen, who is 18 years of age, 3.5 Gold Star potential, 63 overall. And that'll be about it for all the notable players on this team. So I guess with that, we can simulate up to the preseason, and we're already getting some trade offers here. I'm going to decline that. So I think right off the bat, I'm going to move Cholowski, because we already have a plethora of left defensemen. We have Siegenthaler, Dylan Dumoulin, and then of course there is Luke Hughes, who is injured right now. So I'll just see what we can get for him here. And if anybody wants him, let's just see if we can get a couple of depth picks back for him. A 4th and a 6th from Chicago for Cholowski, and trade accepted. Very nice. All right, we still have to cut 5 more players before the end of the preseason. So I'm thinking that's going to be McDermott, Hallinan, Hardman, Dowling, and then probably Foote as well, but I'll hold off on him for right now. And then I guess Dawes, because he's actually still up here as the 3rd stringer. So we'll send Dawes down. And with that, we should be good, at least until all these injured players come back. All right, we're at the end of the preseason. We finished 5-1 on the preseason, not bad. So now we're going to edit the lines a bit and see what we're rolling with heading into the regular season. I think for right now, I'm going to send Casey down. He's not going to be getting any time with Hamilton, Kovacevic, and Nemeth all right there. So send him down for right now. And then instead, I will call up Colton White just as a replacement player. Okay, so these are the lines I have come up with. On the first line, you have Meyer, Hughes, and Howla. Then you have Bratt, Hischier, and Nason on the second line. Third line is Cotter, Glass, and Sprong. Fourth line is Palat, Lazar, and Bastion. Currently scratched at forward, I have Tatar and Foote. Josh Philman is injured. He'll be sent down as soon as he recovers. Then on defense, you have Siegenthaler and Hamilton, Dylan and Nemeth, and then Dumoulin with Kovacevic. White is currently scratched. Then injured currently are Brett Pesce, who is an 85 overall. He'll be making his way in the lineup for sure. Luke Hughes, once again, definitely going straight into the lineup as soon as he comes back. And then Topias Verlaine, who's the 74 overall, who will be sent down as soon as he recovers. And of course, in goal, you have Markstrom and Allen. Auto rotation, I'm going to say starter play is a little bit more, yeah. And then on the power play, you have Meyer, Hughes, Howla, Hamilton, and Cotter. Then you have Bratt, Hischier, Nason, Sprong, and Nemeth. Penalty kill, you have Hischier, Nason, Siegenthaler, and Kovacevic. And then Howla, Meyer, Dylan, and Hamilton. So that is our roster for the start of year number 1. Let's see what happens as we start the simulation. Okay, Brett Pesce is back, so we're going to put him into the lineup. So I think we'll take out Dumoulin. We'll have him be the extra skater, and then White can be sent down. So now I think I'll replace Kovacevic on the penalty kill with Pesce. He's got the better defensive rating. All right, and now Luke Hughes is back in the lineup, and that changes things a little bit because now we're basically forced to trade one of these guys. So I'm going to see if I can carry an extra defenseman here. I'm going to send down Foote. And then I'll move Dumoulin into the extra. Can I not do that? Yeah, I can't do that. I think you have to have 14 forwards and then 7 defensemen. Yeah, so in that case, I'll call up Dowling instead as the veteran, and he can go right there. And then I think, yeah, we're going to have to move somebody on defense here because we have to get Luke Hughes in there for sure. And on left defense, you already have Pesce, Siegenthaler, and Dylan. And even if I move Pesce to the right, that puts Nemeth right there on the bottom 6. And he's actually grown to an 83 when he started at 82. I'm thinking it's probably going to be Kovacevic that's moved. Get him out of here before the modified no trade clause kicks in. Then again, he's only 27. Dylan's 33. But Dylan has the no trade clause, so we wouldn't be able to move him anyway. And I don't really want to move Siegenthaler. So yeah, I think Kovacevic is the odd man out here. Either Kovacevic or Dumoulin. And honestly, with our cap situation being the way it is, I can't see Kovacevic being part of the defensive core of the future. Because as it is, our cap space is only at 2.5 right now. And once that Kovacevic contract kicks in with that $4 million with the modified no trade clause, that's going to be a tough situation to manage. So I think I just want to get Kovacevic out of here right now. And we're 4-8-1, by the way. So we're not looking good as of right now. I don't know how that happened. Oh, yeah, we're dangerously close to the bottom right now. We're currently 27th in the league. LA and Pittsburgh currently at the bottom. So before we trade Kovacevic, let's take a look at the player stats and see what we really need here. You have Jesper Bratt and Nico Hischier leading the way with 13 points each in 13 games played. Hamilton with 12, Nason with 9, Jack Hughes only with 7, really. Then you have 5 for Haula and Meyer and Nemetz, 4 for Pesci, Sprong, and Glass, 2 for Lazar, Bastian, Cotter, and Kovacevic, 1 for Dylan and Palat, and then nothing for Dumoulin and Siegenthaler. And then in goal, 11 games played for Markstrom, he has an 895, and in 2 games played for Allen, he has a 904. So I think first thing I'm going to do is set the auto rotation back to the medium point there. The odd thing is, though, despite our lack of success as a team, our power play or penalty kill is actually really good. 29.6 power play, 86.2 penalty kill. So if we could just keep the puck out of the net and then get that 5-on-5 scoring going a little bit, then we'd be in business. But I think honestly what this team really needs, and what Jack Hughes really needs, is a solid sniper on his line instead of a two-way forward like Haula. And I don't want to break up Bratt or Hischier either, because they've both been doing really well on that second line. And Nason's been benefiting from that as well with that 9 points in 13 games played. So that second line's doing very well. It's the first line that I think we need to mess around with a little bit, because yeah, Meyer's only got 5 points, Hughes only got 7, Haula only has 5. Yeah, that first line needs to be tweaked a bit. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to trade Haula because he's got that no trade clause, but I will definitely be trading Kovacevic here. All right, so I think I found a trade here. It is a 3-way trade involving the San Jose Sharks and the Anaheim Ducks. To San Jose will be Johnny Kovacevic, Charlie Leddy, and a second-round pick for 2025. And to Anaheim will be Tomas Tatar and a 2025 second-round pick from Edmonton. And then coming back to your New Jersey Devils will be Tyler Toffoli, the 84 overall. He, of course, was a part of the New Jersey Devils in the past. Then for less than a full season, 61 games played, 44 points. And he is an 84 overall sniper. I would love to have him back on this team. Of course, he does have a 4-year contract, $6 million. So that is a bit of a problem. But 50% of his salary is being retained by San Jose. And then an additional 25% is being retained by Anaheim. So that's their role in this. So that means that Tyler Toffoli will only be at $1.5 million for the next 4 years. Let's just get one more look at Toffoli. He's got the 86 offensive rating, 86 shooting, 85 passing, 86 offensive awareness, 85 hitting, 84 defensive awareness. So he's all around pretty solid. And I think he'll be a good addition for the first line. So let's see if the trade goes through. Proposed trade. Trade declined, really. I mean, I thought that was pretty even. I wonder who's saying no here. It's probably Anaheim. So let's get San Jose to give them, let's say, a 5th. All right, let's see what happens. Yep, there it is. Trade accepted. So welcome back to the New Jersey Devils, Tyler Toffoli. And now let's get him in the lineup. So we'll take out Haula for right now. And yep, that turns that first line chemistry to blue with Meyer, Hughes, and Toffoli. And then instead of Lazar on that fourth line center, we'll get Haula, because I think he's got the high faceoff rating. Yeah, he's got the 90 faceoff rating. And then instead of Toffoli on the penalty kill, we will put Haula as well. All right, so now we will go ahead and see what that change does for your New Jersey Devils. Why is my lineup invalid? Keeps moving my 14th forward to an extra position, even though we have 23 players on the roster. 14 forwards, 7 defensemen, 2 goaltenders. Yeah, that's 23. All right, I guess for right now we'll send on Dowling. I really do not know why the computer keeps forcing an extra player out of the lineup, but sure, okay. All right, so we're on December 1st. We are still unfortunately not in a great spot. We are 8-12-3, and that is good enough for 26th in the league and 7th in the Metropolitan. The good news is, though, that Tyler Toffoli has 10 points in 10 games played for us, so making an immediate impact there on that first line. Hughes is up to 17 points in 23 games played. So that's, what is that, 10 points his last 10 games played. So he's on a better pace. But unfortunately, the team as a whole is still struggling. Ooh, okay. If I put Hughes and Hamilton together, the 2 offensive defensemen, their line chemistry is apparently very good with Sheldon Keefe as the head coach. So I think I'd like to keep it that way. Unfortunately, if you have any of the other 4 together, it's not a recipe for success here. Yeah, really all the defensive defensemen together here are not ideal. And Dumoulin doesn't change anything there because he's a defensive defenseman as well. We can't trade Dylan because he's got the no trade clause. Can't trade Pesci, he's got the no trade clause as well. So I think that means Siegenthaler's automatically the odd man out here. But even he has the modified no trade clause, limited in terms of teams we can trade him to, and even Dumoulin has the modified no trade clause as well. But at least Dumoulin's contract is up this upcoming year. Siegenthaler still has 3 years after this year, So I think I'll probably try to find a trade for Siegenthaler here. Okay, so Ottawa wants him. So I guess we'll start there. And if I could get an offensive defenseman back in return, that'd be great. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem that Ottawa has any offensive defensemen. So it appears that the only two combinations that work here for forwards are power forward, playmaker, sniper, and then two-way forward, playmaker, sniper. Those are the only lines that have good chemistry so far here with Sheldon Keefe as the coach. And then it appears that the only combination of defensemen that works at all in terms of chemistry is two offensive defensemen. So seems we are a run and gun offense team here. Yeah, he's got that offensive style. So it seems that is going to be a determining factor in how we build our team here. That being said, I'm not going to just load up completely on offensive defensemen. I would like to have some two-way defensemen in there, but I don't think the defensive defensemen are going to work out here. So we'll circle back to Ottawa. We'll give them Siegenthaler. I would like your first round pick from 2026. I mean, we could almost get there. It's pretty close there. What if we added some negative trade value here? Jensen's the only one who has negative trade value. He's 34 years of age, making $4 million for the next 2 years. He doesn't have a trade clause though, so we could just flip him again if we have to. So I think what we'll do, since Ottawa doesn't have any offensive defensemen, we'll see if we can snag up a sniper or a playmaker here, because that seems to be the key to success here with this roster. Ooh, okay, Oscar Pettersson. He's not going to be ready right away. He's only 68 overall at 20 years of age, but he's got that 3.5 gold star potential. Offensive ratings are in the low 70s already, so I think I'd like to get him in there as well. Unfortunately, that pushes the trade value a little too far, but I wouldn't mind giving up, let's say, Mizyol, since it doesn't seem like we're going to be having too many defensive defensemen on this team anyway. He's 24, 77 overall. Let's see what that does for the trade value. That makes it basically even. So Siegenthaler and Mizyol for Jensen, Pettersson, and a first round pick in 2026. That work? Yes, indeed. Trade accepted by the Ottawa Senators. And now I definitely want to find an offensive defenseman. I mean, I guess we could always just call up Casey. Yeah, we may as well. I mean, he has 35 points so far in 25 games played with the Utica Comets there. I think that is good enough to warrant a call up. More than good enough, in fact. So let's get him on the roster and then place him there instead of Dylan. Yeah, that works. That works for sure. Now what we're going to have to do is flip Jensen. We do actually have a few offers here. Of course, this does involve us giving up more value than we would normally need to, because we're only getting a 7th round pick for 2028 back here from Anaheim. We are giving up Jensen and Karpovich. And I don't know if I want to give up Karpovich though. He's an offensive defenseman, 19 years of age. He's got that 4 red star potential as well. So I think if we could somehow do this deal without Karpovich in there, then I would like to do that. I think I'll give them Schleine, and Gritsuk is already 23, only is 76 overall. I know he's a sniper, but it doesn't seem like he's going to grow too much more. And then Schleine, already 22, only 66 overall, so I don't mind giving him up here. So it's Jensen, Schleine, and Gritsuk for a 7th round pick. Will that work? Yes, indeed. All right. So got Jensen's cap out of here. And then I think we'll get Casey on the power play instead of Sprong. Want to give him some power play time. And then I'll get Dylan on the empty slot in the penalty kill. And actually, quite a few changes have been made to the power play and penalty kill, specifically on defense. So you have Casey, Hamilton, Hughes, and Nemetz on defense on the power play now. And then on the penalty kill, you have Dylan, Pesci, Hughes, and Nemetz. Oh, okay. So if we get Sprong down here on the 4th line with Howlett and Palat, and then Bastion with Cotter and Glass, both those lines' chemistry turn green. So maybe that is something to experiment with. Unfortunately, the second line is still with the yellow chemistry there, but they have been doing pretty well. So I don't think I'm going to mess with that. And actually, I think I'm going to increase Allen's playing time a little bit more, because he's done well so far in the 4 games that he's played. So I think we'll roll with these lines and see what happens in December. Okay, much better. We are 18, 17, and 3 now on January 1st. So we're still obviously not in a great spot, but we're in a much better spot than we were before. We are now 17th in the league and 5th in the division. We're still quite a ways back of the wild card, unfortunately, with the Islanders and Detroit occupying the 2 spots in the East. But these lines have definitely helped compared to how we started. So let's take a look at the player stats here. You have Hamilton in 38 games played with 39 points. You have Meyer with 36 and 38. Toffoli with 33, Hughes with 33, Heischer with 31, Bratt with 27. Yeah, I like these lines better. Nason, he's at 20 points. Nemetz with 19, 12 for Sprong and Glass, 10 for Pesci and Cotter, 8 for Howlett, 7 for Luke Hughes, 6 for Dylan and Bastion, 3 for Palat and Casey, and then 2 for Lazar in 13 games played, and nothing for Dumoulin in 2. And in goal, you have 29 games played for Markstrom with the 910 save percentage, and in 9 games played for Allen at 920. So honestly, everything looks pretty good here. I don't want to mess with what worked in December, so let's go ahead, probably up to the trade deadline. All right, unfortunately, that was not a good month of January for us. We are now 24, 25, and 4, 6th in the Metropolitan. So I think, unfortunately, what we are seeing here is very much a lack of scoring depth. And unfortunately, Luke Hughes is injured once again, out for 19 more days. So we're going to have to get Dumoulin in there temporarily. But yeah, basically the entire bottom 6 with Cotter, Glass, Bastian, Sprong, Howla, and Palat is not doing it. And then it doesn't help that Allen, unfortunately, has been dropping the ball as of late. He only has an 894 save percentage in 14 games played. So I think now we'll simulate up to the trade deadline, but unfortunately this year is not looking great. All right, so we're at the trade deadline now. We're 32, 29, and 4. So we had a decent month of February. If we take a look at the calendar, we have a 3-game winning streak to start the month. Then you have a loss to the LA Kings, and then a win, a loss, a win, a loss, a win, win. So like I said, decent month of February. But we are still, unfortunately, not in a good spot overall. We are 5th in the division, and unfortunately a solid 6 points behind the wild card, with Montreal occupying the 2nd spot. And they have 2 games in hand on us. So unfortunately, I would not say it's all too likely that we are making the playoffs this year. However, what I think we should do going to this trade deadline is figure out who we are moving into next season with. So let's see who's coming up this year. In goal, you have Allen and Poulter. Don't think I'll bother with either of them for right now. On defense, you have Luke Hughes, Dumoulin, and Hatika. Definitely want to see what Hughes wants on an extension. All right, he clearly wants a bridge deal here. He only wants, as soon as we take him to 3 years, he's got a very low interest. So I think I'll take him down to 3.59, and we'll send that offer to him. And then who's expiring at forward? You have Glass, Bastian, Sprong, Lazar, Dowling, Foot, Lagare, Willman, McLaughlin, and LaBerge. So I think the only one who I'm really interested in extending here right now is Cody Glass. He's got that 84 overall, 20 points in 65 games played. We could get him for 3 years at 2.1. That's not bad for an 84 overall. Yeah, I think we'll do that. And both of them have accepted their contract extensions. And now we are officially at the trade deadline. I don't think I'm too interested in participating in the trade deadline here. There's nothing I'm really looking to do right now with this team. The only thing I'm really waiting on, honestly, is for all these no trade clause and no movement clause contracts to expire. Because there's quite a few of them, and it is going to be putting a stranglehold on the amount of moves that we can make with this team for the foreseeable future. Because you have Palat for 2 more years after this. You have Meyer for 6 more years after this. You have Hamilton for 3 more years after this. You have Markstrom for another year. You have Bratt for 6 more years after this. Florida wants Sebastian for Steves and Black. No, thank you. Then you have Howla, Dylan, Pesci. You have so many no trade or no movement clauses on this team. So I don't think there's much that we really can do, unfortunately. If anything, I would love to move Palat, but unfortunately he has that full no movement clause. So I don't think we're going to be able to do anything here with Palat. Yeah, it's not possible. So we're just going to exit the trade deadline here and simulate the rest of the season and hope for the best. Ooh, Casey's out for 47 days with an injury. So there goes the limited chemistry that we had for the 3rd line defensive pair there. I'll get Cody Glass on the power play to replace him. And with that, we have reached the end of the regular season. We finished 40, 37, and 5, which was good enough for 5th in the Metropolitan Division and 21st in the league. I mean, at least we didn't get eliminated, but that is certainly not the mindset we want to have here. So let's take a final look at the player stats for the season. You have Jack Hughes leading the way with 92 points in 82 games played. Meyer with 89, Hamilton with 85, Toffoli with 75, Bratt with 59, Hischier with 53, Nemetz with 44, Luke Hughes with 36, Nason with 30, Sprong with 27, Cody Glass with 25, Pesci with 22, Cotter with 18, Howla with 16, Palat and Bastian with 15, Casey with 11 and 52, Dylan with 8 and 77, and then 4 for Dumoulin and Lazar. And then in goal, you have 59 games played for Markstrom with a 912 and 23 games played for Allen with an 894. So I wouldn't say we're going to be renewing him this offseason, currently making 3.85 and had that kind of performance. No thanks. Let's see our final team stats. We had a 25.9 on the power play and a 76.6 on the penalty kill. So not a good look there, especially on the penalty kill. And unfortunately, all we were able to do now is simulate through the playoffs and see who wins. And the Carolina Hurricanes have come out on top. They beat Edmonton in 5. So your 2025 Stanley Cup champions are indeed The Carolina Hurricanes, they went through Ottawa, Washington, Florida, and Edmonton. And now let's get a look at the 2025 awards. And it seems Carolina also won the President's Trophy with 113 points, so they were just overall the best team in the league this season. The Hart went to Connor McDavid with 141 points on the season. My goodness. The Conn Smythe goes to Sebastian Aho with 27 points during the playoffs. The Art Ross, of course, goes to Connor McDavid. The Calder goes to Lane Hutson of Montreal with 67 points on the season. The Maurice Richard goes to Leon Draisaitl with 58 goals on the season. Ted Lindsay Award, of course, goes to Connor McDavid. The Bobby Orr Trophy goes to Connor McDavid with a 59.8 Corsi 4, I believe that is, Corsi 4 percentage. And it seems there's another Bobby Orr Trophy that goes to the best offensive defenseman, Kel McCarr, with 91 points. And I think, did the game glitch out or something? Because I'm pretty sure this should be the Selke Trophy, not the Bobby Orr Trophy. And then for the Norris Trophy, the best defensive defenseman, you have McCarr with the 54.8 Corsi 4 percentage. For the Vezina, you have Saros winning it for Nashville. And the Jack Adams goes to Rod Brindamore of Carolina. And retiring this year, Jaromir Jagr retires at 53 years old. Brent Burns, Phil Kessel, David Perron, Milan Lucic, Mark Giordano, Lars Eller, Nicholas Backstrom, Michael Backlund, and James Van Riemsdyk all retire this year. And the two teams that have been eliminated from the NHL after the end of this season are the Buffalo Sabres and the San Jose Sharks. So we'll go to the draft lottery here, and unfortunately we do not have a pick as Calgary has our pick. I believe that was from the Markstrom trade. So we'll see what happens in the draft lottery here. At number 14, you have Montreal, followed up by Chicago, St. Louis, Calgary, Columbus, Nashville, Utah, Calgary again, Pittsburgh, LA, Philly, Boston, Anaheim at number 2, and Chicago with the first overall pick. And I think we'll save the draft for the next one. This has already been a very eventful episode. But of course, before we end things off here, I really want to thank all the channel members. Thank you so much for all your support. And don't worry, the custom players for channel members are coming. They're going to be in the upcoming draft, or they should be at least. So with that, I'll leave you guys off here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.